All right, guys, welcome to another edition of Webinar Wednesday. It is fantastic to be with everyone here today. Feel free to leave in the comments where you're tuning in from and feel free to say hello. We are streaming on YouTube Live as well as on the Brilliant Directories site and on Facebook as well. Let's get things moving along. Hope everyone is doing well. We've got a great presentation for you guys today. Lots of good updates to share and really good tips to share with you guys today. Excited about one of them because it does utilize Chat GPT, which is always fun. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome. I am Jason there on the left. And as always, we're always lucky to be joined by David Rockland, who is the digital strategist here at Brilliant Directories.
Hey, everybody. So glad to be back with you for another Webinar Wednesday. Only a few left to go before we hit the big 200. But yeah, as Jason was saying, really looking forward to the quick tips that we have today, as well as usual, the great updates that we have to share.
Absolutely. And for those of you joining us on YouTube, welcome. Always like to recommend subscribing to the Brilliant Directories YouTube channel. You can take a moment and head on over to brilliantdirectories.com/YouTube. We'll share a link to that in the comments now as well. It's a great way to get notified as soon as these webinar replays are available. In case you miss one, you can just get the link to watch the replay. There's also tips of the week on there and feature tutorials as well. And one of the benefits of streaming on YouTube Live is the replay is available immediately after, and we will post that in the Brilliant Directories Facebook group. We also recommend joining us there. You can go to brilliantdirectories.com/Facebook. What an amazing community that place is. It's full of positivity, people helping each other, getting feedback on their websites, growth strategies. I'm in there myself answering questions. If you're feeling stuck or you need motivation or you're just looking for ideas, you don't necessarily need to post. It's a great place just to window shop and browse to see what other people are doing with their Brilliant Directories website. So we certainly invite everyone to join us there. And also, we will be doing an iPad giveaway very soon. So make sure that you join the Facebook group because the iPad giveaway will be happening in the Facebook group. We always do those a few times a year. They're lots of fun, and there will be one very soon. I won't announce a specific date, but make sure to join at brilliantdirectories.com/Facebook and just click on that blue join button there. And I always like to mention, if you have a BD site, feel free to search for Brilliant Directories in your app store. It's a free app. It's a very simple app right now, but it's a great way to stay in touch with your site while you're on the go. You could see new members that are joining, new revenue that your site has generated, and a few more things as well. So just search for Brilliant Directories in your app store, and you should be able to download it there. A little bit about Webinar Wednesday. You know, the BD team is super busy pushing updates into the platform week after week. And a big shout out to you guys in the community. A lot of the updates are from your ideas, feedback, and suggestion. So in Webinar Wednesday, we like to highlight some of the newer features that provide you with actionable steps that you can take to help you grow your community, whether it's increasing traffic and better conversion rates from visitor to member, identifying new revenue opportunities, and more. So we'll cover some of these topics in Webinar Wednesdays, and we'll have time for a Q&A session as well. So if you need help with your site, if you're looking for some feedback, if it's something technical or strategic, we should have plenty of time to answer your questions. All right, and moving on, we do have a few BD Lab updates to share. I'll breeze through these, and starting at the top there, related to exporting data from your Brilliant Directory site. If you're not familiar, there's an add-on which is super useful, and it allows you to export data from various sections of your site. This new update is related to exporting data from your transaction histories page in your admin area, and now it was thanks to your suggestions, it will include an option to also export the user's billing address, not only the transaction history like the invoice ID and things like that. Let me show you where this is and also a couple other places where you can export data as well. I'll go to the admin area here, and in this example, we'll export from the transaction history page. And this is just our sample site for webinars. So we can see some sample transactions here. And if you go to list actions, one, you can create a smart list. So if you want people, let me just digress for a moment. You can search by product name, let's say premium members, or maybe they bought a specific digital product. You can then create a smart list from that and then do email marketing, newsletter marketing to that smart list. So that's a quick tip there for all of you. In this case, if you export the current results, you can choose the fields that you want to export. And now if you search for address, billing address is one of those newer fields. And that's super helpful if you're going to need that wherever you're exporting this data. Other places, I'll just quickly go through this, not too much since we're talking about exports. Other places you can export data. Let me just check this out here. Okay, I opened up a few tabs. In your search members page, if you're looking at all your members, of course, you can filter first and then export just the data you need. So there's an export list option here. When you're looking at your posts, like all the actual posts on your site, blog posts, events, coupons, there is also an export action here. You can also import posts, which is useful. And also there are more areas, but also the member categories, you can export your categories. Maybe you need to edit them and re-import them, start over. When you have hundreds of categories, it's a lot easier to work with them in an Excel file and then add them to the site rather than manually editing them one by one. So those are just a few places where you can export data. All right, moving on. We've made a few design updates in the admin area. No major overhauls. These are just smaller aesthetics to improve the look and feel of the admin area. There are more updates are coming soon, so just look out for a fresher look. And part of the design updates is we are revisiting some of the workflows in the admin area to help you work more efficiently, reduce the number of clicks to do certain actions, and just make it a bit more intuitive as well. We are aware there are a ton of settings in the admin area, so we are making an effort this year to kind of better organize them. And part of that is freshening up that look so it just feels a bit more intuitive and just feels better using the admin. All right, Latenote. Latenote is another integration library similar to Zapier and Pabbly, and BD has recently been added to Latenote as well. We're seeing a lot of these integration libraries and solutions pop up. It'll be hard to keep up with all of them, but now BD is part of 7 integration libraries. Let's take a look at just some of these updates. This is the Latenode one. I'll share this link in the comment here. And actually, Latenode's a good tool. I checked them out, and they have a really good library. The differences in these integration libraries usually comes down to costs, and some of them have stronger focuses towards AI or things like that. But overall, they're all doing a pretty good job helping you integrate your data between platforms and doing additional workflows and actions. On the Brilliant Directories website, let me refresh this here. I'll just share this page. This talks about all the integration libraries that we're already a part of. So Zapier, Pabbly, Integrately, Flowmatic, Active Pieces, Sure Triggers, and now Latenote. And all these logos actually click to the Brilliant Directories page for that. So if you wanted to learn more, you can go to this link. I'll share it as well into the comments for everyone. And if you need to do workflows with these integration tools, they are fantastic and super helpful. All right, this next one is related to the profile analytics add-on. A new patch or update has been pushed. Now, when you, the admin of the site, visit profile pages of your members or content, it won't count as a hit. Obviously, as the admin, you're traversing and navigating through many pages of your site at a time, and we don't want to count that as web page hits with the profile analytics add-on tool. So now that will be excluded moving forward. And also previously, it was already in place when members visit their own profile pages and posts, it was already excluding those as hits. So really just true traffic to the raw traffic and to those pages will count as hits. And if you're not familiar with the profile analytics add-on, it is a great retention tool, in my opinion. Not only is it cool for the members to see the traction they're getting, the visibility they're getting on your site, but it's a great retention tool. If they're thinking about canceling, you can always push them and show them the views that they're getting, the clicks to their website, clicks to see their phone number, and more. Let's see here. Something happened with the comments there. Let me share a link to this add-on, and you can learn more about it there. All right, and we have huge news. We have 4 in the lineup coming soon, but the first WordPress plugin for Brilliant Directories is now live. This is a very specific plugin. It was easier for us to start with this one because the scope was more limited and more straightforward, and we were going through the process for the first time to get accepted into the WordPress plugin repository. But this WordPress plugin allows you to sync your WooCommerce customers. So WooCommerce is the #1 e-commerce platform if you're using WordPress, and it allows you to sync and export your customer data and send them to your Brilliant Directory site, and it will create a member record for them. on your Brilliant Directory site. I do have a link to share for that. Here we go. We are officially in the WordPress marketplace. It's a little celebration, fun times to come ahead. So here's a link to this page. I'll share it into the comments. There is a description of what the plugin can do. Again, this one was more specific. It's for WordPress. It's for people using WooCommerce. But the future plugins that are coming should have more broad appeal and for more users. But as you can see here, you can read some of the key benefits, turning your customers into actually directory members. And also once they're in Brilliant Directories, you can do email marketing to them. That's not really included in WordPress. So it's a great, easy way to migrate your customer base and turn them into more of a community fan base on your Brilliant Directories website. All right. And right below that is the next plugin. We're still working on this one. Should be released soon, probably in the next 2 to 4 weeks. Definitely, I'm looking for an April target on this one. This one should have broader appeal. Also very simple here. It is a new plugin to migrate your WordPress blog posts to Brilliant Directories. This is super helpful. We see a lot of people who are migrating from WordPress. They reach a scale limit, or the features are limited there with using WordPress, or they're going to create a community from a blog that's gained a lot of traction and traffic. So with this upcoming plugin, you'll be able to seamlessly and easily migrate all your WordPress blogs to your Brilliant Directories website. The other 2 plugins that are coming soon, we have not begun development on them, but they have been greenlit and they are on the roadmap. There will be a WordPress plugin where there's a lot of WordPress plugin form plugins. There's Contact Form 7, there's Ninja Forms, there's WordPress Forms, WP Forms, I should say, and a few more. And the objective of that is you can use those forms, and whatever is submitted into those forms or filled out, you can then send it to your Brilliant Directory site. So you can, an example would be a form that collects leads on your WordPress site using the Forms plugin. You can seamlessly, again, have that submission sent to your Brilliant Directory site, and the lead will be added to the leads on your Brilliant Directory site, or creating a member, or leaving a review, or creating content as an example. So that one should be pretty exciting when it comes out as well. And then the last one is the big one. It's a little bit more complex. It's the ability to, quote unquote, host your BD site on an existing WordPress site. Currently, you have to connect a custom domain to your Brilliant Directories website. With that last plugin I mentioned, you'll be able to connect BD to your existing WordPress site, so you don't have to have a separate domain. So if you have a popular blog or WordPress site and you just want to add a directory aspect to it, you'll be able to define the page like /directory or /members, and that is where the home page of your Brilliant Directory site will load. That one, we have a target in our minds for June, but by that point, we should have those 4 plugins live and in the WordPress plugin directory. And then from there, we'll take requests and see where we want to go from there with any other plugin ideas from the community. So lots of exciting stuff. Tons more updates are on the way. So big thank you to you guys. Most of the updates are from your suggestions and your feedback. And you guys keep us busy here, and we definitely love it. With that, we'll move on to the BD quick tips. If it's all right, David, I could pass things over to you, and you can walk us through some of these helpful quick tips.
Yeah, carrying on with this new segment that we started a couple webinars ago, BD Quick Tips. We'll still do the regular tips of the week every once in a while, but I thought this was a good new segment to kind of break things up a little bit, keep things a little fresh, a little different. So we're going to be showcasing some smaller, lesser known, more overlooked features within the BD platform, just to kind of bring some attention to them, bring some love to them. Oftentimes there's a lot of great features in the platform that do go overlooked. So we got 3 new ones here this week. Admin role permissions, hugely important one. Hero section for web pages, and adding custom content to search result pages. We've covered all of these in the past, most of them in quite a bit of detail, actually. But we just wanted to give a brief overview of these individual features, again, shed some light on them. And going right on into the first one here, admin role permissions. This one is hugely important. if you're not the only person working on your BD site. So if you have business partners, content managers, if you're working with a developer, with this, they'll be able to log into your BD website using their own login credentials, their own account. And then you, as the BD website owner, you can assign different admin roles to those different administrators on your website. So it's really simple. It's all within settings. You go to settings, admin accounts, and then admin role settings. And in there, there's some default ones specifically for developers and a few other default roles. Or you can create your own custom admin role where you can check off specifically which pages within the admin area you want to allow those types of admins to be able to access. So for example, if you're hiring a developer to do some custom development work on your site, maybe they don't necessarily need access to the finance section of the admin area or to the payment settings page in the admin area. So you can provide them with access to every other part of the admin except for the finance pages. So this is hugely important when it comes to account security. You never want to share your login credentials with anybody. So whether it's a developer, somebody else on your team, like a content manager, another business partner that you might have, and you want to give them full access to the admin area, you can do that as well. So this is a great tool to not actually just set up these admin roles, but you can also invite new admins to your website in the same area. So if you do have a business partner or you're working with a developer, if you want to just grant them access to the admin area of your website, you can just click the invite new admin button, put in their email address, they'll get notified, and then they can log into their account and you can assign them a specific admin role and everything like that. So this is a great one, primarily if you're working with other people who have access to your site as well.
And this is where you can find those settings. If you're in your dashboard, you can go to settings, admin accounts. And of course, the first thing you'll want to do is invite them via email to be part of your site. And when you invite them, now let's just click this real quick. You can choose their role. So they could be an owner, developer, full access. There's a few here. There's some test ones here that only I'm seeing, but or a content manager. And that's going to pre-restrict certain pages of the admin area. Or if you can customize this further, you can actually create your own role. Let's actually do this together. Let's create a new admin role. And we'll call this one only create web pages. And so I'm going to invite someone to my site. I only want them to be able to create web pages on my site. So basically, I want to give them access to edit web pages. And also, they do a little custom work. So I'm going to allow them to create widgets in the widget manager and customize default widgets. So that's all they'll be able to do. They'll have no access to any other places in my admin area. And then again, if you have content managers or moderators who are just like moderating reviews and leads that come in, this is a great way to enforce security on your site. You can securely give access to other users without worrying of them accessing areas that are sensitive or they don't necessarily need to be accessing. It's not just a trust issue. Sometimes people accidentally click and do things, so you want to minimize the surface area where user errors can occur, and you just kind of want to take that out of the equation. And by limiting some of the areas people can visit in your admin area, your staff, colleagues, developers you might hire, etc. This is a great way to ensure that we minimize user errors as people are navigating the admin area.
Awesome stuff. One of my favorite features within the whole platform there. The next one here, hero section for web pages. So we're all most likely familiar with the hero sections that we can have on our website's homepage. You can actually also add different hero sections to your internal or static web pages as well. It's super simple. It's all within the web page builder. There's a hero section tab when you're creating or editing a web page. And within there, it all looks very familiar. It looks just like the hero section settings area within the design settings. That's again for the home page, but you can add another one specifically to individual web pages. So you can see just in the screenshot on the bottom right here, that's kind of what it would look like. You can add any information or images, or just if you want to just do a background color, you could do that. You can add calls to action in there as well. So by adding these hero sections to the individual web pages on your site, you can really do, in some cases, a better job of clearly communicating what that specific web page is for. You might really want to take advantage of this, especially on landing pages. And within this hero section, you can drive more user actions if you want to include a CTA. So maybe you have a button in there. Maybe you have an email input form. Again, if it's a landing page, maybe for an ebook or something like that. And otherwise, it can just help to enhance overall the visual appeal of one of the pages. We've talked about this in past webinars, but really the best way to think about it is just like you have a hero section on the homepage, you can include similar hero sections on your static or kind of inside web pages as well.
Let's do a quick one of these. Let's go to the admin area, and we can go to the web page builder in this example. And actually, let's just create a new web page. And we'll just call it hero sample as the URL. Oops. Okay, let's give it a title here. We'll just say, join our site. You rock. And this subheading, this is your chance. This is your time to shine. Of course, we can add whatever descriptive text we want. So let me just save this without enabling the hero section first. We'll save the changes. And then we'll take a look at just what, these are just two titles here. There's not much on this page now. Great. So we could see here, it's just centered titles here. So now let's enable it as a hero section. And of course, we can have our main content in the text editor here, but we'll enable the hero section. And let's add a background image. I think we have the stock photo library here. We have some other images here. I liked that example in your slide. Let's search for abstract art. Let's see if we can find something. There we go, abstract art. I like this one here. We'll get the large size. You want to use the large size for background images, generally with the stock photos. If it's for an image in like a piece of content, go with the smaller medium. You don't need the large size, but for background images, hero images, we do want the large one, so we have that larger pixel size. All right, let's choose this one here. I think it downloaded. Yep, great. What we can also do is the text, will want it to be white against this background. I'll just drag that to white, and we'll increase the size. With a little back and forth, you can nail this pretty quickly. Let's just save that. And also let's align everything left. And it looks like it is. And we'll save those changes. So basically just added a picture and changed the colors from black to white. And let's do that. There we go. That's already looking good there. Join our site. You rock. This is your time to shine. And what David was mentioning before was the key to this, in my opinion, is you can have a call to action. So you can have a link URL. Maybe you want to take them to one of your checkout pages. And the text, you could say, join for free now. You can choose the color. Let's do red in this case. And we'll do an extra large button size. All right, let's save that. Oops, save those changes. And there we go. So again, you could do this on other pages throughout your site. It could be your about or mission page, and then you tell people to join. It can be on a search results page, which we'll cover in a second in the next tip. And if people are searching, then you can give them a call to action, like, are you a doctor? Join our site and join the directory. So we can see here again, just very quickly, the hero section, how that's helpful. One more tip here, you can adjust the padding size. I'm going to set it to 0 just so you guys can see the extreme of what this top and bottom padding does. It's the space up here between the menu and the text and the bottom of the image. Let's refresh this. It's going to be a lot skinnier now because I set it to 0, but just depending on how your text size and the layout, you may want to increase these accordingly, and just know that you have that flexibility to do this. We refresh this. And one final tip, this white text against this abstract painting that I selected, I actually want more contrast. The white is not sitting nicely in my eyes. Here's a tip. You can actually choose an overlay color like red. I'll just do black in this case. But you want to do overlay visibility. Right now it's 0, so we're not seeing it. But let me show you what it does. First, I'm going to set it to 10. So it'll be 100% cover the image. We'll see all black here. But now I'll do it to 5, and we'll see that it's going to be kind of see-through. So set that to 5. And this is really nice because it adds a little bit more dimension here. And we can see now the white text is popping a little bit more. The color black is on top of this image. And it just helps you add a bit more contrast. So if you've added an image that you like the graphic of the image, but the contrast, it's not contrasting right with your text, you can then add the overlay background color, which is super helpful. And just to show you the differences, let's choose like a purple color here. I don't necessarily like that, but we'll just, as an example here, we'll refresh this and we can see here, actually looks kind of cool. Just depends on the vibe that you're going for. But that flexibility is there for you. All right.
Such an easy way to add some extra value to some pages, and a great segue actually into the third and final quick tip here, adding custom content to search result pages. So this is with regards to your member search result pages. It could also be your post search result pages. So your articles page, events page, things like that. With this, you can add custom content to these dynamic search result pages. Basically, the way we do this is we actually use the admin bar on the front end of the website. That's the easiest way, at least, to do this. We click the visit website button from inside the admin area. That takes us to the front end of the website. And then we go to the search results page that we want to add custom content to. And then in the admin bar that's displayed on the left-hand side of your monitor, you just click the create static page button in there. And that kind of turns the dynamic page into a static page. You'll still dynamically get the search results. So when a new post or a new member is added to your website or removed from your website, it'll still be reflected in the search results. But by creating a static page, quote unquote, that's what allows us to add some custom content to these dynamic pages. So we actually did a whole tip of the week on this. It was more focused on the strategy side when it comes to improving SEO actually on the search result pages. So we'll share a link in the chat directing you to that tip of the week if you want to check that out after this webinar. But really, this is a great way to, there's several different benefits to this. You can optimize just the default page titles if that's kind of the only thing you're after, a little more simple there. But you can add some more context, some more information to specific search result pages. This is a great way to add additional value, whether it's strictly just for the visitor of the web page or SEO value. You can add additional value to either your high performing or your underperforming pages. You know, maybe you have some search result pages that are visited frequently. You want to kind of optimize them even more, add some more specific content to those. You could do that. Or if you think you have some really high value search result pages that are kind of underperforming, maybe you want to add some specific content to those pages to kind of optimize those a bit more. But either way, this can help to increase engagement with these search result pages in a variety of areas. But through this also, you can, of course, add some additional calls to action to these search result pages as well. We kind of touch on all of these subjects in the tip of the week that we did on the specific topic. So go ahead and share that in the chat right now. That would be a great one to check out if you haven't seen that already.
Yeah, that'd be a great one to share, David. I'll do a demo of this example here. I love topics on SEO. SEO is like an onion. There are layers upon layers. You can go down that rabbit hole. I think this is a tip that everyone can take an actionable step with, and actually we'll share with you the prompt to create fairly good content. You can obviously further give it a human touch, but creating content for your search results pages. So, you know, BD sites actually do a good job ranking in Google. We often see people posting in the Facebook group, hey, I have 10,000 pages and Google's only indexing, 1,000 of them. That's because not all the pages have value. A lot of them are just the contact member page, but they're going to rank the member's profile page. So, when one member joins your site, actually like 6 or 7 web pages are created on your site dynamically. Their search results page, again, their contact and review me page, and a few more. So it's not about getting every page indexed on your site. It's about getting the important pages indexed on your site. And this is one thing that you guys can all do, especially if you spend an hour a week doing this. It's a great routine for adding content to your website beyond the content that's dynamically created by the Brilliant Directory system. So in this example, let's actually look at one of the categories we have on our demo site here. All right, let's here we got chiropractors. We got chiropractors here. So let's look at the chiropractor results. Okay, so there's 9 chiropractors on this site, and of course we see the normal stuff. We see the title for the category, and then we see the search results of it. I think this was from the business import tool. We did some tests here. So, let's say this page is ranking a little bit on Google, but we want it to perform a little bit better, or we have no idea how it's performing. We just want to enhance it. So, follow these steps. And David, I think I have the AI prompt here that we're going to use. Perfect. Okay, so let's actually go back to this site. And I like to do it with a location search as well. I think in a previous webinar, we hid the location field here. Let me clear some of this stuff here, and then we can do a proper demonstration for you guys, because it's going to be super helpful, I think. Let me just disable all these custom widgets here.
And while you're doing that, I'll just answer Teresa's question. Just to reiterate, yeah, you can do this. It's not just on the member search result pages. This would be on any search result page. So it could be for any of your post search result pages as well. So your blog roll for all the articles on your site, the events page, classifieds, any search results page you can do this on.
Absolutely. All right. So let me just refresh this now. Okay, great. That was just I should have done that before the webinar. Let me find out what location some of these people are in here. Okay, I think also we're hiding the location here from a previous webinar. Let me check this out. Okay, give me 1 second. Let me do one more thing here, and then we'll be ready to go with this demo. Let me go to search members real quick. And
also, Dre, yes, I'll go ahead and paste in the Google Doc link right now so that you can have the AI prompt to get this.
Okay, because I want to do this with a location search. You could just do the category, but I like marrying the location with the category when you're going to do the SEO content. So let me just see here. Yeah, street address was hidden there. Okay. Now let's refresh this here, and we should see, there we go, New York. So let's say we want to find a chiropractor in New York. So we'll do chiropractor as the category. And I have that set. All right, let's go here for a second. Let me get to where I want to go. Here we go. So these are chiropractors in New York. So let me find the shorter URL here. All right, let's refresh. Let's shake it off. I should have prepared some of this before the webinar. So we have New York chiropractors. There's 9 of them here. And let's say we wanted to add some custom SEO content to this. Okay, easiest thing to do is copy the URL up here, New York chiropractor. And as David was mentioning, when you're in the admin view with this sidebar here, you could say create static page. I'll open this in a new window. It's going to ask you what you want to create the static page for. So we want it to be for this one, New York chiropractor. And this is the key that we need to do. The page type, it's going to be member search results. You want to make sure you set the page type to now. It knows that this URL is for this search results page. You can also do this for posts like blog posts, events, coupons, and so on. And it's going to add additional content to there. So we have this prompt that we created, and all you need to do is fill in the red text with what you need into like a chat GPT or something. Of course, you can modify the prompt further if you need to, but let's go to chat GPT together. And it tells it the type of article we want. So we're going to say New York is the location and chiropractors. So I'm just going to say chiropractors. And what it's going to do is create an article for us. I'll just hit send it. And it's going to create an article with some headings, some bullet points, a little bit of FAQ, everything to give Google something to chew on. So the page is not just the results, but also the results with some SEO content to accompany it. So what I like to do is just let it finish writing its article. I think it's almost there. So here's the contents it's writing. It's creating, Google loves FAQ sections. So it's here. So what are the top rated chiropractor New York? So it's just listing some stuff. So now it's finished. What I like to do in ChatGPT, if you're using other tools, it's fine, is just use the copy button here. And when we come back to the page we're creating, which is here, I put the New York chiropractor. I just paste that right in here. And we could do further edits if we want. Some of these subheadings, I like to actually change them to what are called H2s, heading 2s. We'll see that on the front end. I'll just do that. Heading 2s and heading 3s. It's just good for SEO here. You don't have to do it, or you could make it bold, just something to distinguish it separate from the paragraph it's about. I'm just going to hit the Save Changes button. Okay, great. And I'll open a new tab and we'll see what it's looking like. Okay, great. So now that we've turned it into a static page, we have a few options here. We can see the sidebar went away, and that's because we can define the sidebar. We can have a different sidebar just for this search results page. We've essentially made this its own piece of content page, basically, with custom content on it. Now we could see the read more text here. As we scroll down, it's some good juicy content for Google to chew on. And now we have some design choices that we can make. Let's add that sidebar back. This would be under page options. And let's bring the sidebar back first, and then I'll show you some other things. So it was set to no sidebar. That was actually the member search results sidebar we were using before. And we'll keep it on the left side, and we'll go ahead and save the changes there. And we'll refresh this. Okay, perfect. This is actually the wide. There's two options. In case you didn't know, you can have left wide or left slim. It just makes it a little tighter in the sidebar there. There we go. I kind of like that for this one. And our contents here, it's in a new tab. It says read more. However, we can have this in different places. You don't necessarily need this much content. Maybe you just want 2 paragraphs, shorter paragraphs, and you just want it above the content. So let's see some other settings here. Custom HTML placement. Right now it's inside a tab. And just for demonstrative purposes, I'll move it above the search results. If it's a long piece of content, I don't necessarily recommend this because you're going to push the results way down the page. I'll show you an example of that now. And we can see here now the content is now above the search results here, and it's kind of cannibalized the area here. You have to scroll way down here. And of course, it would be because this is for SEO, just the content just needs to be on the page to give Google something to read. So below the member results is a good place for it. And I'll show you that. And we can see here that it's also on the side of the sidebar as well. The sidebar is still here and the content is here. Now it's going to be below. And we can see that it's still in line with the search results, the width of the search results. Here's a cool one. If you do, below body content, this actually gets it below the the sidebar and the results. So let's refresh this. We'll see that this now goes full width. See, it's now technically under the sidebar area and below the results. It's below basically the body of the results. And now we have this SEO content here. This I think this is the ideal place for it. If you enhance this further, you can add calls to action here and a lot more. And actually, let's put these two together. Let's add a hero section now that we're customizing the content on this specific search results page. And again, I did it with combining a category and a location. If your site is already category focused, like for example, if it's only immigration attorneys, you don't need to say the a specific category again, a subcategory. You can just focus on immigration attorneys and the location, or just immigration attorneys. But let's do this. Let's actually add a hero section. And let's say search. Let's add a custom title here. Search for chiropractors in New York. We just call it chiropractors in New York. Then let's add a subheading. Are you a chiropractor in New York? Join for free. And we'll go to the hero section, enable this. Let's add an image here. Go to the stock photo library, and we can do, we'll just say, I don't know. I don't necessarily want to do chiropractor, but we'll just do it and see what comes up. Okay, so there are images here. This is a good one. Maybe we just don't want people's faces in it. So we'll just choose this one with large. All right, now that it's added to the site, we can go back to our media library and select it. I'm going to go a little bit quicker here because we already covered the hero section. I'm going to do the overlay here, and I'm going to change the text to be white instead of black. And we can increase the size here. Go 60 pixels, and let's add a call to action. We'll link them to our join page, and we'll say list your practice now. We'll spell practice correctly. We'll make it a green in this case, and we'll make it an extra large button. All right, let's save the changes. We added a hero section. We've added custom content. And again, you're doing this on a per category location combination basis. So let's refresh this now. Here we go. The breadcrumbs here should be below. Let me see why that's happening. Let's actually remove the breadcrumbs just in this case. Let's see here. Let's ignore, I'm going to make a note of that. They should be below down here. But nevertheless, now we have added a good title here, Chiropractors in New York. Are you a chiropractor in New York? Join for free. We can see that here. Let's say I wanted this to go to another line. We can just add what's called a BR. Save that and see what that looks like. And the button is here. So we not only have we enhanced this for SEO, we've now added a better call to action. It's not just a directory with the results pages. It looks a bit more customized on your site. Of course, if you have hundreds and hundreds of categories, I would pick and choose your most popular categories. And again, turn this into a routine. Generally, it's one-time work. Once you have content for all your categories, your job is done. So you don't necessarily want to, have to do this forever and ever. But it's a great way to just add that competitive edge, right? Because we have to think what our competitors are doing that we're trying to compete with, and they are out there and they're ranking on SEO for some of the keywords we want to rank for, like chiropractors in New York. So we need to give ourselves all the advantages we can to help our site rank the best it can. And the BD site does a lot, but there is still more to do that we can do as the website owner. So we have all this now, and then we have our blurb of content. So I'll leave it there for now, but I'm glad we did the hero and the adding custom SEO content. David, were you able to share this link to this Google Doc here? Yep, I could see a lot of people are already checking it out. And of course, yeah, you can change this prompt as you see fit. And maybe you just want to do location or just a category. You could probably do that as well. Anything else you want to add for this one, David?
No, that's it. We actually did have, if you want to dive into the questions, we actually did have a few good questions on that topic specifically.
All right, let's see here. Melissa says, pardon my pronunciation. So it's best to do this for all pages for SEO purposes. I mean, ideally, in a perfect world, yes, all your web pages should have good, unique, rich content that is good for the users, is good for Google. However, as human beings and as business owners, our time is limited. So pick and choose your battles. You may want to start with your broadest or most popular pages to add SEO content to, and then work your way to less popular or smaller categories that you want to target. And then, of course, you can always circle back and see how certain pages are ranking. If there are some pages that seem like they're already ranking well with your changes, that's great. You can set it and forget it. If you see pages that are starting to improve, but you're not seeing a lot of traction, maybe you want to come back and add a little bit more content there. What Google also loves is internal linking. Internal linking is in that text is linking to other pages on your site. So the content of your site is pointing to other pages on your site. Google definitely values that as well. Again, we can peel that onion back and get into deeper SEO strategies, but keep it simple with that for now. Let's see here. Dre is asking, is there a way to add SEO tags to the hero section's images? So the background image is a CSS image, background image. So there is no need to add SEO tags to them. Let me show everyone what Dre is referring to here. Let me go to this site again. So the background image, if we do an inspection here, is actually a CSS rule. So you don't add SEO tags to background images. However, for example, the logo images, if we inspect this, and let me open this wider, we do see that this does have alt text. And again, this is the built-in SEO that BD does. So in this case, for this logo, the alt text already has the SEO tag for their name, for their name and their company name here. And that's done throughout all BD sites. So for the hero images, background images, not necessary to add SEO tags to them, Dre. Okay, let's see here. We got a great question from Ertl as well. Ertl, thank you for your question. Can we add a dynamic variable for category and/or location into the static page to create internal linking? Yes, we did cover this. You'd have to give in the prompt, let's do this together. In this prompt, okay, let's add something to it. Let's go back to ChatGPT here. Where's my friend? All right, there he is. Let's refresh it here. Let's do a new chat. I like this question, Ertl. Let me remove it so you guys can see what I'm doing actually. So here's the prompt that we're giving it. I'm just going to add a 7 here. Include internal links to these pages on my site throughout the article, throughout the content. So what we need to do is we need to tell it which pages to hyperlink. So I'm just going to choose some of these profile pages, but it can be like related categories. It can be your join page, but let's just add 3 links here. I'll even add the join page here, get listed. Let's see if it can figure out what that is without having to give it more context. Okay, and then let's do another category. Let's go to my categories and let's give it another. Let's say it needs to also link to an accountant, totally unrelated to chiropractors, but let's see how it handles that request. That would be interesting. All right, let's have it spin an article now. Include internal links, I'll say with SEO text hyperlinked to these pages on my site throughout the article. So again, that's why we provided you guys with the baseline prompt that we thought works pretty well. Let me remove this from the screen here. And we can see here, it's added a link there to doctors in Los Angeles. That's to the join page. It's hyperlinking. It did the join page again. So probably needs a bit more here. So for more healthcare professionals and additional services, find these links. Okay. So it did it there, and find an accountant for medical practice financial. So it found a way to bring it full circle. Let's just copy this and see how that pastes into our editor here. I think we're here, and we'll just change all that. It doesn't look like it hyperlinked it. Let me see here. There is a way to do it. I don't want to get too down the rabbit hole with it, but there is a way to have it hyperlinked and then paste the link into the editor, the hyperlink text into the editor. But yeah, you can ask it to do things like that, Edril. I just got to play with the prompt a bit more. Good question there. Rich, how you doing, Rich? Is asking, what is Latenote? Latenote is like a Zapier. If you're familiar with a Zapier, it's an integration library. So you can, I guess, chain together different solutions like Brilliant Directories and Google Sheets, and then they can talk to each other and work together. And Latenote is just like another integration library solution, similar to like a Pabbly or Zapier, which are more commonly known. Okay, Amal is asking, can I add a video in the hero section instead of a photo? You can actually have both, and this is a fantastic question. Let's actually do something together here. Let's add a video to our New York content that we created. Let's go to that page, which was right here, Neuro Chiropractors. So let me refresh myself what we did here. And let's go find a YouTube video on the subject, chiropractors in New York. So let's just do a quick search here, and I'll go to videos. And we should have one in YouTube here. Okay, great. So just choosing a random video from YouTube on the subject. Obviously, you'd probably want to add your own. But let's click on share and click on the embed. And just copy this. This is their embed code. You can click copy. So I just came to the YouTube video, share, choose the embed option and click copy. And what we can do here is go back to our hero section. And I'm actually over here when we're choosing the title text options, like the color that we selected and the font sizes. There is a place to put like additional hero section content. This basically it's just a regular input field. You can put plain text here. You can also put widgets here, so you can actually code a custom hero section with your H1 and H2, your main headings in the custom widget. So you could then leave these blank as an example. Let me hide the comment here so it's easier for you guys to see. Let me just drop in the video here with the iframe. Let's see if that works in the hero section. And it does. And there it is. If I was a designer, I could take it a step further. I would maybe do it where the video is on the right and the text is on the left. There's definitely ways to do that stuff. Let's actually do that together because it's fun. What we're going to do is a few things here. The text area width, we'll set it to 100%. We can see here it's kind of cutting, it's using 70% of the available width here on the page. And what I'm going to do is actually, this is where the styling comes in, but I'm just going to add a class here, and I'm going to do pull right. And I'm going to cross my fingers and see if doing this moves the video to the right. Again, I'm not promising the most beautiful aesthetic here, but just to give you guys an idea of what is possible here. And yeah, it is possible there. Obviously, there's a gap here. We would want it more up here, but yeah, you can have a video on the page, and there are some ways to decide where it would be placed. So to answer that question is a yes, and you can drop it in the the additional hero section content here. And then further, you said if you can use it without an image, you certainly can. Just choose your background color and set it to like 10, so it's a solid color. And of course, you can remove your image. I don't need to remove it when I'm using 10. So I'll do that. And now we have solid black color in this example here. It's a good question there. All right, Wayne is asking another design related question here. Is there a way to colorize a single word or select words in the new page H1 and H2 that differs from the whole line? So yeah, the title fields are just input fields. They're plain text. They're not like the text editor where you can highlight text and set it a color. But I can share with you some simple code here. I always like to stay away from the code stuff, but I'll just give it to you. Style equals color, and I'll just do red as an example here. I'll share this code with you so you can figure it out. You can put your color hex here, or you can type in the color. Let's save the changes here and hit refresh. So chiropractors in New York. So that looks pretty sharp, and you can do things like that. I'm going to put this in the chat, just the span part. And that would be the way to do it. It's pretty simple. It does not affect your SEO having span in H1s and H2s. It's because Google is just reading the text on it, and it's pretty common for spans to be used inside of H1s and H2s. So don't worry about the SEO on using spans there. Let me paste this into the comments for you. And in this example, Wayne, we're just highlighting the color, the word New York in red. All right, good friend John here. He's asking, have you got crypto payments yet? Not yet. And our path to that will be actually potentially through Stripe. Let me do a Google search for this. Let's see, Stripe crypto wallet. So with Stripe, you can actually unlock different wallets and then like allowing people to pay through different methods like Apple Pay or Google Pay, or other tools like there's Ideal, which is something in Germany. But this is what they say, what Stripe says about crypto. Build your crypto business with Stripe. It looks like it may be possible. I'm not sure the specifics of it. However, it's not available yet. If we go that route, it would be building upon what Stripe unlocks and makes available, and then allowing BD users to enable those additional Stripe wallets that Stripe allows payments to be collected with. So it could be beyond just credit card. Yeah, we can see here, credit card, bank account. It looks like they're trying to sell you crypto here. They're trying to be a place to buy crypto. So again, not yet, John, but potentially in the future. And we wouldn't build it from scratch. We'd kind of just build upon what other payment gateways are doing. So maybe if PayPal starts allowing to pay with crypto, because right now with PayPal, when you check out, you can use your credit card or a bank account or pay with PayPal. If they make available pay with crypto, we would definitely want to just make that feature available to BDers when it is available. So it seems to be gaining, obviously, more mainstream popularity and adoption by institutions. So as that develops further, it's going to be more ubiquitous, and we'll probably see some of these gateways have a pay with crypto option, just like they have checkout with Apple Pay. Right. So that's pretty cool. All right. We got another question here. Let's see. Wayne's got a long question. Let's read it. Situation. All right. Scenario. When someone signs up as a member, the system asks for an email. That's correct. That email is required to be used in sign-in on a go-forward basis. That is correct and very common with most platforms. Problem is that email shows up in their profile and they may not want that email to be visible. That is a false statement. Emails that your members sign up with are never public on their profile site. It's only visible to you, the admin, and to them when they're looking at their account settings when they are logged in. You can override that and choose to edit that and make the email address public. I do not recommend that, but there are cases where you do want the email address of the member public. For example, if a hospital is the profile and you want to share the email of the hospital, but generally you don't want the email address visible. So what you can do is you can also have a new field. He's saying John at his site, however, John wants the profile page and feedback to go to support at his site. Please show how to set up a second email address. Okay, so in this case, what you can do for your members, I don't think for leads you can set up alternate emails to go to your members. Let's see here. If you go to search members here, Wayne, and you want like the leads from their profile page to go to an alternate email address, I think if you come here and scroll down on the second page, listing settings, CC lead emails too. So this is with regards to the lead emails. So the inquiries that they're getting from their contact form. So you can get that information from them and have them input it here. You can also make this field available to them so they can fill it out themselves. The name of the field is email_CC. So you can add that as a field to their form. I'll put this email_CC. And they can enter the additional email addresses they want And in this case, it's for them to receive lead emails too. So that is generally when the visitors are contacting them. That's, I think, what you were in reference to what you were talking about there. All right, good stuff. And we got more questions here. Roy's asking, because I didn't like the size of the font, I have ignored the H1 section and only used H2 for titles on many pages. Will this adversely affect SEO or searchability in general? Yes, it will. You want your page to have an H1. Think of it as the H1s are headings. So heading 1, and a web page should only have one H1, one main heading. That is the primary title and focus of the content that is on that page. You can have multiple H2s and H3s and H4s all the way to up to 6, 7, and 8, but you only want one H1 on your site. And Roy, you want to make sure you include an H1. So if you're only using H2 because of the aesthetic of the title size, ask the support team or in the Facebook group, share with them a page where the H1 is too large, and our team will show you how to adjust the size of that on your site. Just as a quick example, because it sounds like you're doing this site-wide, on different pages, H1s are different sizes. However, let me show you what you can do if you just want to change the H1s site-wide beyond the default that they usually fall into. So let me go to the member directory. And actually, this is, I think, a standard size for the H1, and it's from the main style sheet here. Give me a moment. Let me see. No, it's not. But what you can do is this. I'm going to give you the code that you can do. If you want all your H1s to be a smaller font size in general, you can go to your custom CSS and do H1, dot H1. That's a class 2. I'm going to share this with you. And you can do font size. I'm just going to put 22 pixels, and I'm going to put an important here, which overrides any other rules that might be set for H1 sizes. So let me just, let's put this as something extra small just so we can make sure we see the difference on the site. I'll do 16, which is like the regular paragraph size almost. So if we come here and we refresh this, we could see here member results is now much smaller. You can choose the size you want. I'll share the rule that I just created. We'll just increase this. Probably 24 would be a better size. I'll just put that in here for now. I'm going to share this in the chat with you, Roy. So add this to, I would go back to adding H1s to the pages. It will adversely affect your SEO if you don't have H1s on the pages. And then regarding the font size of the H1, you can go, if it isn't a setting, because in the hero section, you can choose it from a drop down. But if you're just talking about site wide, you can go ahead and do this. Just know that this will affect the H1s in many places when you're using the important. You can also do it without the important, and I'll just actually share that one as well. So you got another question here. Dawn is asking, do you know how to create an auto monthly traffic word email for all the members in my directory? I believe you're referring to the profile analytics where they would get a traffic report of their profile views, their website visits. This is not yet available. However, it is on the roadmap, and I think it's an awesome feature. If you can email your members monthly and share with them your progress this month, you got 100 profile views, you had 10 website clicks, you had 30 leads that came to you. Again, this is a huge retention tool. So Sean, we don't have it yet, but I'm going to check where it is on our roadmap and see how we can fit it in, move it up the list there, because I think that's a great suggestion there that you're reminding us about. Thank you for that. Todd's asking, can a search results page receive content from the results of a search passing through Zapier to a database app and get the search results content parsed? Yes. Okay. I'm glad you asked this question. I'm going to get a tutorial on this myself, but I understand maybe what you're saying. With the Brilliant Directories API, again, don't fully understand, but I think this might be what you're going for. We recently released with the Brilliant Directories API, you can do a search, for example, for users. And when you do, let me open this up, the search for users, you're basically asking it what you want to search for, and it will give you the results with the API. This, of course, requires a developer's help. I want to get a demo on this. And actually, what I've heard from our team is you can actually do the search on a third-party website off your BD site and actually print the results also on that third-party site, basically embedding a search tool for your Brilliant Directory site on your other website properties. So this is all brand new in the system. I'm going to get a tutorial on this myself and see how it works. And I think we want to do a tip of the week on this. It is definitely higher level, but if they can explain it to me and I can understand it and present it in a way that makes sense and is actionable for, I'd say this would be a medium to advanced customization or work to do. But it would be super helpful to know this information. I'm going to share this link here. And what you'd be looking at, again, is the user search action. So if you have a developer, please feel free to share this with them. And then also if you go to posts, like single posts as your blog posts, there's also a search endpoint here. And also for multi-image posts, those are your photo albums, classifieds, anything with multiple photo albums or multiple photo images. That would be here in your users portfolio groups search as well. So I don't know if that fully answers your question, Todd, but hopefully provides you with some direction. All right, guys. Well, I think we'll cut it there. We've gone about 30 minutes, almost 20, 30 minutes over the time here, but thanks for sticking with us. David, thank you so much for putting together the BD quick tips. I know we went a little quick over some of these, but the replay will be available in the Facebook group. So you can head on over now to brilliantdirectories.com/Facebook, and you can join us there. Also, we will have the iPad giveaway coming up soon. We're not going to announce the specific date yet, but it will be very, very soon. And that will be happening in the Brilliant Directories Facebook group. And for those of you that joined us on YouTube and also typed in your questions, thank you for participating. We love you guys so much. These webinars are always a joy, and it's great to be with you guys here. On behalf of myself, David, and the entire Brilliant Directories family, thank you guys so much for joining us. The next webinar will be in 2 weeks. We will be in the month of April. So we'll see you guys in April. Have a great day and a brilliant week. Cheers, guys. We'll catch you in the next one.